Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum again. Okay, so today I will explain about quadratic and ratio inequalities. Okay, steps for quadratic. First, make sure coefficient or scalar for x squared is 1. Second, make sure 0 one side. 3. Third, solve for x. Fourth, find interval between x. Fifth, build the table. And sixth, pick the answer based on step 2. Okay, we go for example. Solve x squared plus 5x plus 3 bigger than negative 3. Okay, solution. First, make sure coefficient or scalar for x squared is 1. As you can see here, the coefficient is 1. So, step 2, we can tick done. Okay, step 1. Step 2, make sure 0 in one side. So, negative 3 on our right hand side. We move to left hand side. So, after we move, so akan jadi kosong. Negative 3 will become positive 3. Okay, step 2 finish. Step 3 solve for x. Okay, usually we find x first and then we backward dapatkan factor dalam bentuk factor. So this is factor 1 and this one is factor 2. Okay, we call x here as critical point. Why we call it critical point? Because when we substitute x here, okay, we substitute x into the inequality, you will get 0 is bigger than 0. So, what is the answer? 0 bigger than 0. So, we doesn't have the answer. So, that's why we call it critical point. So, kita kena exclude critical point ni daripada jawapan kita. Okay, next. Okay, find the interval between x. So, this is our x. Negative 3 and negative 2. So, biasanya negatif yang besar duduk di sebelah kanan. Okay. For x-axis, the number that took place at the right is positive or big value. While the number at left is negative or small value. Okay. So, biasanya kita akan tulis di sebelah kanan ialah positive infinity. Di sebelah kiri is yang paling kiri negative infinity. Okay, for interval 1, if we compare interval 1 with negative 3, so we can compare interval 1 with negative 3. As you can see, interval 1 is smaller than negative 3 because interval 1 duduk sebelah kiri, negative 3 duduk sebelah kanan. So interval 1 we substitute with x, okay, less than negative 3. Or you can use bracket. So bracket lebih senang. So yang sebelah kiri is negative infinity, sebelah kanan negative 3 for interval 1. Okay, for interval 2, it plays between negative 3 and negative 2. So, senanglah. X lebih besar negative 3 and lebih kecil negative 2. Or in the form of bracket, paling kiri negative 3, paling kanan negative 2. Okay, and lastly, interval 3 is at the right hand side. So this one, interval 3, so paling kanan, meaning X yang di interval 3 lebih besar daripada negative 2. Dalam bentuk bracket, negative 2 paling kecil, paling besar, negative, positive, infinity. Okay, step number 5, table. So, at row 1, this one we call it row. Row 1 is interval, like this one. So, we put it, the interval yang kita dapat tadi. And for column 1, we place the factor. So, factor 1, factor 2, and the question. So, this one, factor 1, x plus 3, factor 2, x plus 2, and last one is hasil darab factor 1, factor 2, or our question. Okay. Okay, next, after we put in interval and also factor, we choose x, test point. So, kita letak test point di atas ini. Okay, test point mesti di dalam selang yang disebut di dalam row kita. So, mesti memenuhi interval lah, our test point. And from the word test point, so point ni perlu ditest masuk ke dalam factor 1 and factor 2. Okay. After, okay, for this table, you just fill in row 2 and row 3 only. Why? As you can see, this row is actually hasil darab factor 1 and factor 2. So, dia punya table yang lain pun hasil darab juga lah. So, negative times negative akan dapat positif. So, sama yang ini pun positif negatif akan dapat negatif. Positif positif dapat positif. Okay, next. Okay, based on step 2, okay, this is our inequality. So you must pick the positive. Why positive? Because as you can see, this symbol, this inequality, lebih besar kosong. So we have to pick the positive. That's why we pick positive. And make sure the symbol at last row, this one, must be selang-seli. Positif, negatif, positif, negatif. Dia wajib selang-seli. Okay. Then, okay, so our answer is, kita ambil selang dia lah. Jangan ambil dia punya bawah ni. So, ambil selang dia. Okay, for dalam bentuk inequality mesti ada or. So, kalau you guna bracket, mesti ada union. Kalau melibatkan dua jawapan. Okay, finish quadratic. Now we go for rational. Okay, ratio. So, make sure 0 one side. Simplify, solve for x, find interval, table, and pick the answer. Okay, example, 3x minus 5 over 2 plus x bigger than 2. So, step 1, make sure 0 in one side. So, kita alih 2 ke sebelah kiri. So, sebentar. Okay, 2 kena alih ke sana. Okay, kenapa kita alih 2? Kita tak buat cross multiply. Okay, let's say 3x plus 5 over, sorry, bukan plus. Erase. Okay, 3x minus 5, 2 plus x. Okay, less than 2. If we cross multiply, kita tak tahu 2 tambah x ni negatif ke positif. Kalau negatif, darab melepasi inequality, kita kena tukar simbol jadi lebih kecil, ni lebih besar. So, untuk menyelamatkan diri, kita alihkan 2. Kita alih 2 ni ke kiri. Alih ini. So, ini betul. Ini salah. So, jangan cross multiply. Okay. So, alihkan 2. And then this one is 0. Step number 2, simplify. Okay. So, ni dalam sebutan, dalam pecahan. So, 2 ini kena tulis sebagai 2/1 supaya kita boleh darab dengan ini ialah sebenarnya 1. Okay, so kita samakan menyebut. So, expand and then kita tengok ini sama. So, we can combine. So, negative and don't forget the bracket. Okay, biasanya you akan tertinggal bracket. So, jangan tinggal. Okay, and then this is the last answer. Next. Okay, solve for x. So, critical point is our x. So, to solve for x, so yang atas samakan kosong. Yang bawah pun samakan kosong. So, dapat x equal to 9 and x equals to negative 2. And step number 4, find interval. So, dia lebih senang guna bracket. Okay, negative interval 1, negative infinity, negative 2, interval 2, negative to 9, and interval 3, 9, positive infinity. And then, okay, test point. And then, fill in the table. Okay, so penuhkan semua table. Okay, number 6. Pick the answer based on step 2. So, as you can see, this is step 2. So, we have to pick this one bigger than 0. So, positive. So, positive, we have 2 column. So, ada union. Okay, thank you.